Alien Romulus released its final trailer. They were super quick, thick and fast with the marketing. Like, it feels literally like a couple of weeks ago we had the first official trailer. It feels like it. It probably wasn't that. And now we've got the final trailer for Alien Romulus. I mean, fair enough, because it is releasing in a couple of weeks in theaters. You guys have all watched this trailer. I've watched it. I've done a breakdown of it, a discussion. My thoughts are it's an amazing trailer. Like, the hype is real. I'm really excited for this. And I just thought we could talk about it. You know, what you thought of the trailer, what you thought of the marketing overall, your hopes for the film, what you potentially are a little bit, concerned about, all these kind of things. I just thought this would make for an interesting opener to today's show. And it's pretty hot off the press as well, because it's only been out for 2 hours now. So I guess, Nick, I'll go to you first, because I know you're actually quite actively looking forward to this. So let's get your thoughts.
I just watched this final trailer, and I really haven't liked an Alien movie since Aliens. The first two are literally the best two films in the franchise, and I really haven't been that happy with anything else that's come out after it. But everything I'm seeing in these trailers, I'm interested. This actually looks like it's going to be a decent or very good Alien movie. So I'm going to be there day one, and they got a freaking badass popcorn bucket.
See my tweet last night.
Yeah,
it was this morning, I think.
Which I am going to get to, just in case nobody gets you one. So yeah, I'm definitely going to see this opening night. I don't know. Yeah,
so cool. Look at that.
Yeah, badass, and the way you can hold it. Yeah,
that's amazing. I'm down for that.
Well, spoilers, like I said to you, Nate, I'm not really looking forward to this movie, but I want this popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
So good. So
go just for the popcorn bucket, Tom.
Well, I'm jealous of you guys in America who get those amazing popcorn buckets.
Well, if I have enough, Andre, I'll get you one.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it looked good. The thing that we got out of this trailer that I didn't know about before is it seems like this is like a heist. Like they're going to the station to like try to steal some shit off of it or something. But apparently they don't know that. I guess the station's been evacuated or everybody's dead on it, and they soon discover why nobody's there. Which, who knows? Maybe they'll find one survivor, like they did in Aliens with Newt.
I know some stuff.
Oh,
my eyes and ears in Hollywood, but
okay,
I won't tell you.
But yeah, it looks like they're kind of going back to old school Alien. With throwing in like some sprinkles of Aliens with a little bit of the action in there.
I love this attention to detail. Just real quick, sorry to interrupt, and I'll let you continue, but love this attention to detail. Weyland-Yutani on the belt buckles. Like, it's just such a small thing that they don't need to do that they've done. It just makes you go, yeah, like people, that like the franchise are on here doing this. So yeah, sorry, keep going.
And I've heard Tom's arguments on this, and I don't necessarily disagree with his arguments on this, but the way I look at the Alien franchise is sort of the same, or me personally anyways, is the same way I sort of look at Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. It's a very simple formula for these Alien movies, and as long as they just give us just another cool Alien story, with good acting, I really hope the acting is going to be really good in this.
The problem with the movies you just mentioned, though, Nick, they have better continuity than the Alien franchise does.
That's why I said
Halloween, depending on which, but definitely Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's why
we'll have canon that they follow, but
that's why I haven't really enjoyed a whole lot of Alien content after Aliens. It's like the first two, but this one happens in between. So, sort of like how Rogue One is literally the only Disney Star Wars movie that I'll put in with the other George Lucas Star Wars movies. This is looking like this could be one that I would throw in with Alien and Aliens because it takes place in between those two movies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, as long as there's good acting and it's a good story. You know, I'm not really looking for anything too drastically different than what we've already gotten. But yeah, I'm gonna go see it open at night for sure.
What does this look like? What is that? You'll recognize this. Think game. It's the first time I've seen it in live action.
Oh, the little
telephone. Telephone from Alien Isolation.
Yeah, for when you save the game.
Yeah, never seen them before.
No.
Anyway, sorry. I thought you'd get that.
I never even noticed that. I wouldn't even have noticed that if I was trying to break the trailer down. I wouldn't have even noticed that. Good catch.
I was trying to spot what's on these because there's some artwork here and I can't really make it out. Like this building, because I was thinking if it was going to be related to Rome because of Romulus and Remus, and this looks too modern to be Roman. The sort of architecture looks a bit too modern. I could be wrong, but it does look a bit too modern. Whereas this one here, difficult to make out, but it almost looks a bit like a chariot. But again, I don't know. I'm trying to make head nor tails of a pretty tiny image. But
also, quick question: is it just me, or is it the same voice for the computers from the first Alien movie?
Yeah, it's Mother. It is the Mother voice. So,
okay. I thought so.
Same program. Same program. Right, let's go to you, Bo. What do you think?
It looks good, doesn't it? It looks good. I've got to be careful not to be too cynical these days and too sort of too much of a downer. No, but I have to catch myself. If something looks good, I have to admit it to myself, and this does. Exactly what Nick said. The first two movies are obviously by far and away the best ones. And this looks like it's in that vein, hopefully. I mean, a bit on steroids. Seeing loads and loads of face huggers and stuff. And sort of more explicit face hugging action going on. It looked like.
We've never seen that before for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we'll have to see. I'll definitely be. I think I'll almost certainly go to cinema to see it. Perhaps not on opening night or anything, but I'll probably go to cinema to see it. That is really saying something for me. I've got to really, really want it, or there's some sort of reason. Otherwise, I just wouldn't go to cinema. But I think I'll go to cinema for this. It looks good. I like the fact. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not a fantastic number of extremely famous people in it, which it looks like, which is good because there's that thing, isn't there? When there's someone really, really famous in something, you know they're going to live, or probably at least for a while, because the studios had to spend so much money on their fee that they get to. Famously, actually, in Alien, they did the opposite with John Hurt, didn't they? Because John Hurt was already famous when Alien came out, and he dies right near the beginning, and everyone's shocked because John Hurt can't die near the beginning, So anyway, no, it looks good. It looks good. I won't hold my breath because I've seen quite a few trailers that look good, and then the film is crap. But no, it should be good. Hopefully, if the thing is about the writing, there's sort of two elements, isn't there? There's the actual plot, there's the actual story, whether the story is any good or it's just an absurd thing, and if the dialogue's any good as well. Because you could have quite a good story and the movie's kind of ruined by terrible dialogue. So we'll see. There's a number of ways to ruin a good movie, right? I mean, even I know we can talk about it later, but lots of Star Wars things like The Acolyte, they look good, right? A lot of money has been spent on sets and things and special effects, and it looks good, but the writing is so pants that it's ruined. So just fingers crossed that's not the case with this, I guess.
Yeah, no, good thoughts. Go to you, Andre, next, I think.
I think it looks fantastic. This is a movie that I haven't been paying too much attention to, partially because I don't want to know too much. I want this to be a pleasant surprise. I hope it will be. Based on what we are seeing here, I think it's going to be. That it might be the first kind of like worthwhile Alien movie since Aliens. Though I will admit that I also like the extended version of Alien 3. I think that's not half bad, but really after Aliens is where the franchise diverted. And this kind of like looks like, yeah, this is the movie we should have gotten all along, ever since Alien 3. But remember, remind me, where in the timeline does this movie take place?
20 years after the events of Alien.
So it takes place in between Alien and Aliens. Right, so after this, and if this is a cool movie in our head canon, we will have 3 Alien movies. We will have this one, surrounded by Alien and Aliens. That's a pretty cool trilogy right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't really have anything to say about it. I think it looks very cool. I think it sounds cool. I'm surprised to see this come out of Disney, but hey, if you just have the right creatives in charge, then you really can't go wrong. Now, I did not like the movie Don't Breathe. I've been very clear about that. But tonally, that movie was fine. So when you can take that, if you just can give that director a much, much stronger script, a proper Alien script, then I think that it's going to be a fine movie.
Yeah, perfectly valid. Good input. Tom, do you want to share anything on this, mate?
I mean, this trailer probably looked best of all the ones we've seen so far. And with Nick, at least you kind of have this side story of, they're going in to do this heist to rob some equipment from the station. The trailer hasn't given me a good reason why it has to be between Alien and Aliens yet. I still am just kind of in this place where I don't like prequels and midquels. Like, go into the future. There's other places to explore, especially if we're getting completely new characters that are unrelated to the first 2 films, right? Like, I guess unless you know something that I don't, I guess I'm trying to figure out why this has to be, because nothing in this trailer even tells me that it takes place in between those movies. Right?
There's some connection to bits and pieces.
Well,
I'm not going to spoil
that withstanding, like, I mean, certain things look better, but also, like, this trailer had to remind me that this was the same guy that made that god-awful Evil Dead movie.
I guess so.
And I hated that movie. I mean, as a scary movie, it was fine, but it was not an Evil Dead movie. That was my problem. It was missing some of the key elements that make an Evil Dead movie an Evil Dead movie. So hopefully we don't have the same problem here. I mean, this looks like an Alien movie. It feels like an Alien movie, but right there's a good example of what I was talking about last time. We're getting a few too many member berries and callbacks to the other films that it's like it's unnecessary. Like, we don't need that.
It does look member berry heavy, I must say. Sometimes that is really shit and annoying and ruins it, and other times it's great, right? It depends how it's handled.
Handled.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I agree. And like, I just got fresh off of watching Cobra Kai season 6, and this is one of the first times in that whole series where I feel like they fumbled a little bit with some of the callbacks, because some of them kind of feel a little forced, and that's kind of what I was getting at here. Is like, but otherwise, yeah, like, some of the bits and pieces that I'm seeing here, we're getting a little bit more of the story. The heist aspect is something different we haven't seen in the Alien universe yet. Again, here we go. She looks just like Ripley in Aliens, like she has the same outfit and everything. This whole strong whammon Ripley ripoff vibe, I'm just not jiving with, to me. But other than that, it looks okay, I guess. I'm interested in seeing it, I guess, to a point. I'm not sure I'm going to like it or not, but I'll go see it for the popcorn bucket.
One other thing, just from what Tom was saying, that I definitely hope that we find out in this movie is the time between Alien and Aliens. How did all these face huggers and aliens get on this station? Where did Weyland Yutani?
We did.
Okay, so you know how they're gonna kind of explain that in the movie? Yep. Okay, cool deal.
Yeah. So yeah, don't worry, it's there. It is there. All right, excellent, cool. Well,
I have one quick question about this as well. Like just a yes or no if it's in it, because what I always thought was fascinating with the first Alien movie. Now, forget
Mm.
about the prequels, because I don't consider them to exist. As far as I'm concerned, they're not canon. They never happened. But in the first Alien movie, the first real Alien movie, the corporation Weyland-Yutani obviously knows about the xenomorphs already. They already know everything there is to know about them. That's obviously why they're sent there as human decoys, because we learned this from Ash, that this species is so magnificent. He already knew. Is there any hint of this in that movie?
Yes.
Cool, because that's the story that needs to be told, and it hasn't been told in Prometheus.
There's hints. There's hints. If you know where to look, you'll get it.
Hopefully, then I hope that this will be a success, so that we can actually have that story told later on, and we can completely ignore Prometheus and its sequel as the fan fiction that it is.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some super chats to get to about this as well, and then we'll shuffle on. We've got one from T Neil, aka Dislikes Puns. Says Alien Isolation come to mind for anyone else?
Oh, love that game. Oh, such a good story.
Game.
Yeah.
Such a good game. Such a good story. Amazing.
Yeah.
And sadly, still no sequel. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And it's not an easy game.
No, it's no. I know it is not.
Yeah.
That is a hard game.
Yeah.
T-Nil, and again says it's not just a save point. This looks like that hospital level in Alien Isolation. I think it's where she finds the corrupted flight log. Yes, you are right. And yeah. But it's just that's what I just likened it to in the trailer. So something we've never seen before. But yes, you are completely right. And another one, thank you so much, T-Nil, says, have you seen Alien or Star Wars in the past 10 years? Member berries are the least of our concerns. This is true. Member berries are the least of our concerns. I'll settle for holding the camera steady.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, to be fair. Yeah, member berries are the least. Well, yeah, I mean, people would say member berries goes into writing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just real quick on the topic of this film with member berries, because it's set between the films, I think there's an element where it's justified in that regard to have some member berries. It'd be a bit, it'd be weird saying what it's member berries to see an X-wing in a Star Wars film, again, because obviously they use them in, that's what they use, isn't it? You wouldn't be like, well, that's member berries. It's kind of a similar principle here. Like, it's the one company, it's the same company, it's the same design language. You are seeing these things play out in between, linear sort of timeline now. So it kind of makes sense in that regard. Obviously, that's not me trying to argue against it. I appreciate some people don't want to see anything. But if you're liking it to the X-Wing situation, I think it becomes a little bit more palatable to those that don't want any member berries at all. So we've got some over on Streamlabs as well. So we've got one from Chaos is Fun. Says, Tom is such a Debbie Downer. Lift heavy things and be happy. Tom was actually very, very articulated himself in a very justified way. And I don't think he was being overly Debbie Downy about it at all. But I'm sure Tom can defend himself. But, I just thought I would say that as well. Do you want to say anything, Tom? I don't know if you...
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of times where I'm a Debbie Downer about a lot of things. But at the same time, I feel like I don't get proper notice when I'm positive about things too. So, I mean,
plus we've been burned so many times.
Yeah,
in the film industry,
especially with Alien, like that's the thing. It's like we literally have only 2 really decent movies. The third film works on its own in a way, but as a sequel to Aliens, it fails on every level. But beyond that, like, it's a real miss franchise, especially that Ridley had to come in and put his stank all over it, and then he doubled down on this stuff, and it's like, it's really looking obvious that he is feeling so burnt by the fact that Aliens got more of the notice. Because I know people will sit here and go, yeah, but that's the one that's always prestigious and everybody says is the better one. You're right. But never forget that Aliens was the one that got got Sigourney Weaver her Oscar nomination and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it made more money at the box office. So, and it also solidified more of the canon in the Alien universe. So I always feel like
Yeah.
he was feeling like he was left out of it, but it was like it was never really his thing to begin with. In fact,
No.
he wasn't even supposed to originally direct it anyway. He was more or less just there because they couldn't get anybody else.
Yeah, he was
There
brought
was-
on at last minute. Pretty much
Yeah.
everything there was set in stone before he, signed
By
up.
Dan
et cetera, et
O'Bannon
cetera.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronald Shusett, Walter Hill, David Giller.
Walter Hill was supposed to, yeah.
Yeah. Hey You has super chat $3 over on Streamlabs. Says there was a sequel game mobile game, called Alien Blackout. It's pretty good for a mobile game, but not the sequel we all want. I agree that I'm over the female protagonist in the Alien movies. Just tell a new, interesting story. I mean, this is a new story.
It wouldn't be
Like,
so
it
bad, but that was
actually
my
is.
thing with like they keep trying to make her like she has outfits that look just like Ripley. She has a haircut that
Yeah.
looks just like Ripley. It's like come up with
Yeah.
something. I don't care that it's got a female protagonist. That's not the issue I have. It's
Yeah.
like quit trying to recapture that Ripley thing. You're not gonna. Ripley is
Yeah,
Ripley.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Let's, we've got one more super chat, guys, and then I'm melting here. Let's crack on a little bit. JW for £5 says, how do you lads feel about Alien 3? So, how do you feel about Alien 3? I myself, it is actually my guilty pleasure movie. I think it's not actually that bad. It's bad in parts, bad continuity wise, linearly, etc. But I don't hate it, and I do put it on and watch it every now and then. I did a drunken Alien marathon like last year, I think it was. And yeah, the movies do get progressively worse, but I still enjoyed it. It was when I really got to Alien Resurrection was when I had to drink significantly more because that film fucking sucks.
God.
So, Bo, what do you reckon to Alien 3?
I do think Alien Resurrection and Prometheus are bad films. Alien 3, well, you must remember, if anyone remembers, there's quite a long time between Aliens and Alien 3. It seemed to me all through my teenage years, or all my it seemed like my whole life I was waiting for the third Alien film to come out. And when it finally did, it was a big anticlimax and I didn't like it. I went back to it years later on VHS or DVD and thought, actually, it's not that bad. It's actually half decent. It's half decent.
As a movie, like I said, on its own,
half
it's
decent.
fine.
Yeah,
It's
half
even,
decent.
especially the extended cut or whatever, or assembly cut or whatever.
Yeah,
is
Yeah,
even
the
better.
assembly cut, yeah.
And the thing is like I said, as a sequel to Aliens, it fails on every fundamental level. But if you take it aside and look at it as a movie on its own, it's actually a really well done horror film, right? A sci-fi horror film. It's really well paced. It's got a lot of the things that made Alien famous. If it was a movie that was like not Alien 3, but in the vein of Alien, it probably would have been accepted better. It kind of reminds me of Godzilla 98, right? As a Godzilla movie, it fails on every freaking level. But as a fun, like, monster run wild in New York movie, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, I don't see a problem with Alien 3, but I totally understand how the fans were betrayed back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It just kind of broke my heart that Hicks isn't in it.
Yes.
I wanted to see Hicks be a badass again, and
Yeah.
they give you that. Quick thing: did anyone play Alien 3 on the SNES, the Super Nintendo?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
played it on the Mega Drive. Pretty much the same game.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fantastic game.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Actually, I probably played the Sega version, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, do you want to share your thoughts real quick on Alien 3?
I like the director's cut version the most. I was also disappointed. I went and saw it in theater when it came out. I was disappointed. Newt and Hicks. Was it Hicks?
Hicks, yeah.
Yeah, that they died. Of course, we get, she plugs Bishop back up, which was a cool scene where he accesses the computer. So, yeah, that was the most disappointing part for me. I actually like the original script for Alien 3, where Hicks is actually still in it. That they have the audiobook for. I actually like that version of Alien 3 better, but yeah, like I agree with what Tom says. In isolation, it's not a bad movie. I just didn't like some of the decisions that they made with the movie, going into it.
Yeah. We got a super chat here from Sci-Fi Quest for $1.30. Says Alien 3 Special Edition is far better than the theatrical version. Agree. But still wish the egg made sense or some kind of explanation. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Same.
Right, well, we will Oh, and real quick as well, Accent Sally, the Alien 3 soundtrack by Elliot Goldenthal is good. Yeah.
Yeah, the music
Yeah, yeah.
soundtrack's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no issue with the
Okay.
music in the movie.
There you go. We will move on from that just real quick.